what approaches credit unions can adopt to address the challenges of AI model security, data management. I'll throw integration in there when deploying these across hybrid infrastructures.
I think that there are real challenges, right? As Megan noted earlier on about, the technology talent pool that you can have internally versus, when you start outsourcing. Look, I think that I love Paul's comment about the board being the conscious of the credit union, right? With that said, you have to, each credit union is going to be in a different kind of segment, right? Smaller credit unions are going to be much more tighter on resources. So they're going to be very dependent on partners. So that strategy really has to be about partners, right? Not vendors, right? We know the distinction between vendor and partners, and really adhere to that definition of partner. Who will you go into battle with, right? Who will you maybe pay more of a premium because they are aligned with your values. So, smaller credit unions that are going to be completely dependent on partners have to have a very solid partner strategy that then will inform that AI strategy and so on and so forth. And I think Paul could probably do a better job around those distinctions, but you know where I'm getting, right? Like that's going to be core. Now, when you get to like mid-size credit unions, they have more resources available. So now the question is, what do I keep internally versus what do I uh, partner with, right? Again, partner with, very close to that. And then when you go upstream with the bigger credit unions that have a lot more resources available to them, now it becomes, what do I keep internal and what do I outsource? Notice I'm leaving the partner part out of it because because of the amount of resources they have, they could be a little bit more selective across that. And then it comes back again to a lot of what Paula was noting around, there's a trial and error, but sometimes you might want, here's one thing that's interesting. There's this push to we got to make things very streamline and be able to integrate really quickly, and okay, and that makes sense to some degree. But with AI, there might be situations where we do want a little bit of a stall, right? We do want a little bit of a pause. And the reason I say that is because AI can scale and scale fast, right? And it's so fast that the damage is done by the time you notice that there's damage, right? So maybe sometimes, through that trial and error, you start figuring out, you know what, this is a process we're going to want a human in the middle, right? We want someone to verify. So to like Paolo's example, okay, this is great. It's like I could like go through these mortgages and these loans and these approval really fast, and that's great. But you know what? I don't want to take the chance that I miss out on a member that really needed some help. So I'm going to slow the process over here just enough so that we could have someone that takes a look and then uses that judgment, right? That the machine can't be taught. And maybe we could teach it later on to have that judgment, but we're going to pause there. So I think there's a dichotomy here, right? Speed is everything, and we have to build cultures that understand that. But at the same time, there's something, Paolo, you could correct me. This is an Italian phrase that I learned a long time ago, but I love it. Festina lente, which is like hurry slowly, or translate roughly to hurry slowly, right? So there's a little bit of that we need to apply around this. But I would say that I would break it up into three general categories, right? Partner strategy is going to be really critical for one segment. You know, partner internal strategy, and then you know internal strategy, outsource, and partner. So,
Love it. Thank you. And I love how you've woven in the business value too to that, George, right? Whether we're looking and looking beyond the efficiencies, right? At what core processes, something like cash flow underwriting, can we add AI but slow it down and put that human in the middle to add that value and to learn. So thank you so much.